happy Aloha Friday. Welcome to the Hawaii Fishing Gear Show. We're High Fish Gear, highfishgear.com, and we're tackle shop in Ewa Beach. Welcome to the High Fish Gear Show. If you guys got questions about fishing, drop them in the comments right now while we're live. And I am here with Jesse, who, if you've been following on Instagram, successfully caught that Ulua that he was going after for since January 1st, huh? Yeah. January 1st. Tell everybody about your challenge that you put to yourself.
Okay, so I think it was about January 1st. I had this idea in my head already that, you got all these, day one of doing something until, you reach this goal.
Yeah.
So then I thought, no more Hawaii ones yet, or like at least at the time. So I think, if I do a Hawaii fishing one, so that one was like, everybody wants to catch an Ulua pretty much. So that's how the idea came about. January 4th, I posted the video.
I saw day one, yeah.
Got some pretty good views and whatnot, and it just took off from there.
I know, because like I watched the first few ones, and of course, on Instagram, you only posted it on Instagram or anything.
Yeah.
But if you watch the first video, like as soon as I open Instagram in the evening, like your video would pop right up because I would watch every video, seeing if this is the one. But I have to say, and I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there, watching your videos, seeing the work that you're putting into it. Over the last, since the beginning of January, I started fishing more. Me personally now, I'm telling you, I started fishing more because of your video. Like just seeing, I know sometimes you didn't have like a full-blown overnight kind outing. Sometimes you would just go for a couple hours, and it's just kind of like, that whole mentality of like go fish whenever you can. But then seeing you doing it, like kind of motivated. And if he motivated you guys too, drop something in the comments, because give them a little bit of support to be more do some more creative things on your Instagram. It's gonna be hard to top that one though. Not saying it cannot be, but great job, man, great job. I wanted to ask you, let's see, at any point did you ever get like a feeling of like just like skip for like a couple days or whatever?
Twice in the challenge I was really ready for like tell everybody, okay, I gotta go like ghost for a little bit, kind of recharge the battery. Sometimes when you have a lot of whitewash trips, it takes a toll on you.
Yes, it does.
You're out there and you're like, what I gotta do better, so
what got you back into it?
I did take like a day or two break, sometimes you just have to,
Yeah, and then, responsibilities, and you got work here at the shop. You got school, of course. So, I mean, responsibilities. We all got work. We got families. We can't, not all of us can necessarily go fishing every day. But, I noticed that, you got a lot. Like, I saw a lot of different people fishing with you in your videos. So, these are people that you kind of knew already, or they just kind of reached out?
Yeah, pretty much. I knew all these people already.
Yeah.
I may have not fished with them before, so it was kind of like a lot of first-time fishing trips with them.
Nice. Yeah. I know I did see a couple repeat guys in your video.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, get a good group of friends, get some people that are solid to go fishing with, and then, makes a trip that much better,
Yeah, it's always nice to have like those guys like, hey, let's go fishing. They not even like ask you like, where are we going fishing? How long are we gonna go fishing for?
Yeah.
What day? They just like, shoot's wet right now, go. It's always good to have friends like that. If you guys got questions for Jesse, go ahead and drop them in the comments right now. But also, if you got other fishing questions, while we're here, let's go ahead and answer as many questions as we can. I want to talk about some restock products and brand new products on highfishgear.com. Island Flies just dropped a new product with us. This is called the hybrids. It's actually like it's a regular fly, but it has a special little attachment. Did you see this one yet?
I've seen it on Instagram.
You seen it on Instagram? But I've done this in the past where I've put a grub. This actually has a curly tail. It doesn't include the curly tail, but this is a 3 1/4 inch Hawaiian angler black grub, and on the back end of the fly he has a little attachment. See? That is pretty awesome. I used to actually just take the grub and put it on the hook.
I was wondering how he
But-
did that because it looks so, you know, like
It's seamless, bro.
it flowed, yeah, pretty
If you
well.
guys want to check them out, the hybrids, it's basically a fly, but you can also include a curly tail on the back of it. It gives it a little bit bigger profile, and of course with the curly tail, you guys always know that those little curly tails give that a little extra flutter on the retrieve. And I gotta say, Ken, I told you in person, and I'm gonna tell you right now online, that is a great execution of that idea, brother. With the way to keep the grub on it, you basically just slide the grub. 3 1/4 inch Hawaiian angler is a great size for that. I'm sure that you can use most of the 2 1/2 inch, but it seems like that 3 1/4 Hawaiian angler grubs work really well with the hybrid fly, which is a fly and a grub combined. And then also restocked yesterday. A lot of you guys had notifications and a lot of them went out. The HFG regulations ruler is back in stock. It's a little bit different than it was before. It is updated. It has the most recent regulations that just came out earlier this year. So it has the bag limit on the kala and the uhu. And it has most of the shoreline targeted species on it. And of course it does say with a little disclaimer, this is not an official regulations ruler, and for the most recent regulations, it even gives the website address to double check on it. But this is waterproof. It is rip resistant. The other one was a little more like a softer vinyl, but that was going to wind up getting more and more expensive. This is a new style. It's a synthetic material. Like I said, it's waterproof and rip resistant. And you can either roll it up and kind of tuck it in your tackle bag, or what a lot of people might do is actually just fold it into sections, so you can fold it up and tuck it in your tackle box or your tackle bag. $4.99 on highfishgear.com. I think we sold, since yesterday, we sold about 20. Shout out to Connor from Sticker High for hooking it up, getting us a little bit more consistent on the product. Thank you for that, bro. I appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and scroll through some questions. Matt says, he's asking if we're going to be doing 4 p.m. auction. I'm looking at a big pile of goodies. If you guys don't know, we do auctions on our High Fish Gear deals page. It is a page on Facebook. We're going to be doing one at 4 o'clock. Aloha Fridays, we do a special slow traditional Hawaiian music. We play some Hawaiian music while we're doing our auctions. We call it the ke'olos. All right. How do you guys normally rig up Mark White lures? I'll let you tell how you rig up your Mark White lure, and I'll say how I usually do mine.
Okay, so for mine, I'll go for my braid, and then I'll use a knot to my leader, and then just tie on the Mark White. Simple as that.
I've been doing my mainline braid to a fluorocarbon leader. I'll usually do an Alberto knot. By the way, for the longest time, I kept calling it an Albright, but it turns out I've been doing an Alberto knot.
Oh, the one you wrap up and down?
Yeah. Thank you, Tyler, for letting me know that. Alberto, where you go up and you go back down, seven up, 7 down, pull it tight, and then tying off to the lure. By the way, Mark White is exactly how he does it. It's really just a cinch knot straight to the lure, cinch knot straight to the lure. I like to do a Rapala.
Or also like a loop knot.
It's not so much for the well, it's so it gets a little bit of action, but I like those pauses. It feels like it gets a little bit of more of a pause. The lure will kind of go limp a little bit, and then when you yank on them, it'll give a little snap.
Yeah, you may get some wobble to it with
you
that.
get a
that
little
extra,
bit of wobble,
extra
yeah,
little
with the surface
play in
pop.
the front.
So yeah, it's basically just mainline to fluorocarbon leader, and then you tie off straight to the lure. Or you can use a non-slip loop. All right, let's go ahead and scroll up. There may have been some questions for you. Here we go. Up on Instagram. All right. What was the final weight of your Ulua?
Oh, it still stayed at 10.5.
It did, yeah. The next day.
That was pretty crazy.
Jesse caught it on Friday, and then you kept it on ice. Did you brine it?
I brined it.
You brined it. So you're talking, how much salt did you put in the water?
I actually just went down to the beach.
Oh, and got some salt water.
Salt water, yeah.
So if you guys catch a fish for a tournament, I know this kind of went against some of my rules. When you catch a fish for a tournament, I highly recommend not weighing it before the weigh-in. and definitely not posting anything about it on social media. Because what happens is if you have an unofficial weight on social media and then you get to the weigh-in tournament and it is somehow heavier or lighter than, it might cause drama. So a lot of times I recommend, if you're fishing a tournament, don't weigh your fish before you get to the weigh-in. Whether it winds up heavier or lighter than the official scale at the weigh-in. Yeah, just avoid it. Also keep it off of social media, because otherwise you're going to be like, oh, I already know what I got to beat. I got to work harder. Already getting fish out there. What did you place anything?
No, almost.
Almost. What was the difference? I heard that was it lightest, heaviest?
Smallest Ulua.
Smallest Ulua.
Yeah, someone had like a 10.2. So
10. Oh,
yeah,
that was
there,
close. Yours was what? 10.
10.5.
10.5 pounds. All right.
That was pretty killable.
Let's see. What is the recommendation pound line for Kala and Inui? I'm thinking 12 to 15 max.
Oh, for the leader?
Yeah, but some people like 10 pound tests for the
should
leader.
bump it up to 20.
20 on
20,
that?
yeah.
Yeah? Well, I noticed like the ones that down on this side, they're a little bit leader shy. So I noticed I get a lot more bites when I dropped it down to the 10 and the 12. And not so much like bussing the line, but more like spit hook. Spit hook is always an issue with Kala and Inui, because you get such soft lips most of the time. I would say, Jesse says 20. And I say anywhere between 10 and 20. There you go. All right. What's your personal favorite whipping pole and plastic grubs? You have a personal favorite whipping pole?
Yeah.
Go ahead, say it.
I like my Yamaga blanks.
What rod exactly? For people that want to go deep down that rabbit hole.
If you want to go down that rabbit hole, I suggest getting the ballistic, the 10'2" medium heavy.
What's the lure rating on that rod?
Up to 1.5 ounces.
Oh wow, it's not even that heavy, huh? All right. My personal favorite right now, I like the 964 LSJ from Majorcraft with a 5K Stratic. And plastic grubs, I kind of use whatever's in my bag, but my go-tos are Campania Lures, Revolver, Abalone, and Owama. Okay. Ahi Boy says, congrats. Hawaiian
Thanks,
Lavaya, how
Ahi.
you doing, brother? And let's see. So he said your video is killer.
Oh, thank you.
I noticed you kind of, from the beginning all the way to the end. I love your side shots. I mean, because when you go on an outing, like you're planning. Are you planning your shots, or are you just kind of like, oh, let me get this one shot, let me get this shot?
Sometimes it is. I have like this vision, so then sometimes I'll use it.
Yeah. A lot of B-roll. Like
There
just
was a lot, but
yeah.
all gone.
You were
already.
posting almost every day, huh?
I
almost?
tried my best.
Yeah.
Tried my best.
Freaking awesome, man. And you caught it on what day?
It says day 65. It probably took me about like 65 trips, though.
Okay. Yeah. What is your light papio rig setup, size hook and line? Your light papio rig setup.
Do you want to do a dunking and a whipping one? Like maybe you do one, I'll do one.
What? I mean, like I'll explain mine. Like
Okay,
if you're gonna go light papio, I mean, I don't really have like a lighter than 50-pound test setup. I run 50 on my 344s, but I run 50 main. I might drop my leader down to 20 if I'm targeting OEO, just because they can be a little leader shy sometimes. But yeah, I 50-pound test on my 344s, nitro medium heavies. There you go. All right. If you're dunking, what do you?
I'll probably run a simpler setup, maybe like a 30-pound leader like that.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully that answers your question, brother. Let's see. There's a couple more going through on YouTube. Shane says, "Congrats."
Oh, thank you.
Just do you have a? Okay. You guys believe in superstitions when fishing, and if so, what is them? You have any superstitions when fishing?
Oh, superstitions. I think I used to. Oh, well, it's not really a superstition, but like some guys, I think they have lucky shirts, when they're wearing that shirt they catch. So that's one of mine.
Well, for me is if we're gonna be fishing overnight,
Yeah.
someplace where no touch lights, I say no abake stories.
Okay.
I don't want to
okay.
hear them. I don't want people telling them. Because the thing is, I feel like when you start telling obake stories and you start getting those chicken skins, goosebumps, I think that you're creating an environment for those kind of experiences. So, like when I go someplace where it's new and I'm not, not familiar with the area, we're not telling obake stories because I don't want any of that kind of weird vibes.
Noted.
Yeah, and I want to just be able to walk around in the dark without my headlight on and not be like, what was that? What was that?
Where'd that rock come from?
No obake stories. And another thing too I like to do is when I go kayak fishing, like as soon as I get in, like the first thing I do, I sit, like as soon as I get the kayak out of the water, I stop and I take a moment and I realize that, something could have happened out there, like would have been dangerous, and I say like a little thank you prayer, like thank you for getting me in safe and stuff like that. Like that's one of my traditions. I don't know if you want to call it a superstition or more just of a grateful for making it in, and before I start focusing on cleaning up my kayak and getting it out of the water, I'll stop, and you probably see me if you ever see me come in a kayak. I'll stop right at the front of the kayak, take a little pause, close my eyes, and just say, kind of say thanks for getting me in safe. That's kind of what I do. All right. And any tips to stop pressing for an Ulua? You gotta understand. Maybe it's a slang that I'm not familiar with. Pressing for an Ulua. I'm not sure what you mean, brother.
Go start opening Pokemon cards, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Get into RC cars. I don't know. Maybe airsoft. Can you use BKN hooks for dunking? Absolutely, 100%. BKN hooks are the most popular dunking bait casting hooks in the state, whether it be Hawaiian Angler or whether it be Maruto. The BKN hooks are the most popular. Jesse, are you gonna keep making videos?
Yeah, I got the next series in mind.
All right.
I don't know if I should call it like a continuation or next one. We'll see.
You see? Yeah, don't put any pressure on yourself. But you took off. You got caught up in your sleep yet? Have you been
Almost.
fishing since that weekend?
I have.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right. That's good. That's good. Do barracudas like shiny lures?
Yeah.
Yep, they do. They love shiny lures. Yeah. That's definitely, like, if something shiny and metallic in close to brackish water, it's kaku land right there. All right. Kaku barracuda. Okay. And we'll skip that one. Congrats on Ulua, Jesse, and congrats on the new store. Thank you, Clay. Any advice when whipping for Omilu? I've been trying jigging, but no luck yet. Whipping for Omilu. Try bigger profile lures. That's usually if there's something big in the area, predatory, Omilus or Ulua, like white Uluas and stuff like that. They like bigger profile lures. They'll bite anything, but bigger profiles to get their attention for sure. Especially if it's scattering smaller fish and stuff. If you run a big lure through a small school, it'll usually scatter the school, and of course that scattered school is going to bring the attention of the alpha predators. So bigger profile lures, something that's like 2-3 inches.
Campagna lures, frantics like that.
Yeah,
that's a good size lure.
Bigger profile grubs and stuff like that, or soft baits. Okay, I think we already got that one. Do you guys know anybody who can wrap blanks? We do have brother Brad, who does rod repairs for our shop. He does have some open spaces, maybe nothing immediate, but he is kind of piling up the work when it comes to wrapping rods. If you want to reach out to us here at the shop, we can put you in touch with him. Let's see. What ounce Mark White would you throw with your LSJ 5K setup? That rod is rated up to, I think it's a 40 plus 20, so up to 60, which means that I can throw almost up to 2 ounces, but Mark White lures are usually 1.5 to 3 ounces. So 1.5 would probably be the sweet spot on that rod. Okay. And Scuba says, glad you got your Ulua. Very happy for you.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. And Makana ST, Thorium 50 or U.S. Senator? If cost was not the question, I would probably go with the Torium every time. I love the design of the Torium 50. I like its low profile nature, and I like just how the frame is. It's really nice. But that's not taking anything away from the U.S. Senator. I really love what Penn did with the new black and chrome. The U.S. Senator black plates, chrome. Sorry, not chrome, but aluminum frame, aluminum spool. It's a really well built reel, and the fact that it's made in the USA is even a little bit more of a selling point. But I love the Torium 50. I love the design of that reel, and super stoked that they finally did come out with that Torium 50 after having the Torium 30 out for a while. What's a good budget-friendly conventional reel? I'll let you answer this one.
The Facebook Marketplace, used Jig Masters is definitely going to be your most budget-friendly. But if you're looking to buy a new one from the stores, either the C-Line or the Seagate.
Yeah, brand new. Jig Masters have climbed up to about $95 retail now. The C-Line is going to be $140. The Seagate is $150. If you're just getting into casting, definitely start yourself off with a Jig Master or a C-Line. Those are great reels. And also scan Facebook Marketplace. Use Jig Master, USA made, used now. I wouldn't pay more than $60. For the newer China made one, same thing, $95 brand new. I wouldn't pay more than $60 on the used market. Lar73 says, how's the Penn Battle 4? Consistently great. Good stopping power, well made. Not the cheapest in the Penn line, but I think it's probably in that series where you have the Penn Wrath, the Penn Pursuit, the Penn Fierce, and the Penn Battle. Before you get to the Spin Fishers, the Penn Battle 4 is a premium reel. Best bait and size hook for bait casting for Moy. Not a lot of people really do dunk for Moy. A lot of times it's mostly shrimp, float, or whip.
You got actually a lot of guys that dunk for them too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would be a good setup for a Moy then
something small, BKN, like 14 like that per se. Maybe 2 hooks on your line.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea because they are schoolers.
Yeah.
They kind of do tend to stick it around in the moment. I think one of the first Moy I ever caught was actually dunking one piece of oil.
Oil, okay.
Yeah, I had an oil belly, little white belly, hooked it through the belly, and I caught I was surprised. I thought it was like going to be a small popio or something. Wound up being my first Moy. Okay. What's the best hook size for catch mullet and tilapia? Well, for me, tilapia, I like the MZ size. I think it was an 18. MZ size 18, 1 pound test, hand pull. Great for tilapia.
Great.
Especially here in Neville Beach in the canals and such. But for mullet, I don't really have too much experience. You ever try catching?
I think sometimes we catch them on accident with small MZs like that.
Yeah. All right. Recommended pound test hook line for eel. I like to hang out around 20 max.
Really?
Yeah, it's just when we did a lot of eel fishing off the kayak where we would go out to where the fish would usually go through. You would go with whatever line you had, but sometimes you would notice a little bit more of a hookup when you would drop the leader size down. So, I would start off with like 25 from my bait casting mentality of, I wouldn't, nothing less than 25, just in case something big comes by. But when I would start off with like 25 pound test leader or 30 pound test leader, I would still catch, but like I think one day I went out with like 15 pound tests, and I noticed that like they weren't as shy for some reason, or maybe it was just a really good week or something.
Yeah.
But with the 15 pound test leader, I noticed more hookups like more rapidly. I think that sometimes they do get a little leader shy. What would you go for when you're dunking for eel?
Most of the time now it's been like 60 pound tests.
Wow.
Yeah, and
actually targeting eel.
I guess I would say
Yeah.
I don't know. Like before, I'll be really stick it down to like 40 like that and stuff.
Yeah.
A real light line, but when I started catching them on 60 pound tests, I was like, wow, midday.
Might as well add just in case something big comes by. All right. The birds will buck it enough. The freaking crying seabirds. You know what? I gotta say something. I don't know if you saw it yet. Hawaii DNLR posted on their page. You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen that. Oh my gosh.
So I read the whole story and I saw some of the comments, and of course, people were commenting because let me just tell you what happened from the story that I read. Somebody reported somebody in Maui using a drone to fish, and in case you guys don't know, drone fishing is illegal in the state of Hawaii, and you can call and report it if you see somebody. Somebody was drone fishing in Maui. They called MPD, Maui Police Department, and the Maui Police Department contacted the DNLR, and they came to the scene to inspect the drone. But as soon as they rolled up, they saw the bong, they saw the bags weed, they saw all the pakalolo these guys was smoking, and they got cited for narcotics and the drone. That's pretty much it. If you guys all drone fishing out there still yet, and you get busted for, you're gonna get reported. People gonna report you, and you will get cited. But if you're doing anything else that is considered illegal, they're gonna tag you for that too. Just keep that in mind. So if you guys out there puffing and droning, that's not, if you're not doing something illegal to begin with, like flying one unmanned vehicle, you shouldn't necessarily have to worry if you're just enjoying a little puff on the beach. I don't think that's going to be a deal. But if you're doing something already illegal, the cops going to just add them onto whatever you're already doing. Just keep that in mind. But if you guys want to check a little bit more into the story and read some interesting comments, the Maui, is it DNLR or DLNR?
It's one of the Facebook pages they have. Yeah.
You can check it out on Facebook. All right. Let's see. How much pound test mainline for Stratic 2500 using it for a kule?
You should go with like a 6-pound monofilament.
All the way on the reel, no blade. Yeah. All right. Can you use MC hooks for dunking? Yes, you can. They go all the way up to size 1. Yeah, is the biggest one.
Size 1, yeah.
Size 1 is the biggest, which is about, like, size-wise, not the same gauge, but it's about the same size of maybe like I'd say about a size 18 or size 20 BKN. Yeah. So you can use AH hooks for dunking. I feel like the gauge of the hook is a little more narrowed in the BKN. Not saying the hook is not as strong, but I feel like with that kind of profile and the fact that the barb is not pointed in, I get stuck on a reef a lot more. All right. Can you use 13.0 and 15.0 circle hooks for Ulua? Yeah? Definitely. The most popular size is, of course, starting at 18 aught. 18, 16, and 14 are probably the most popular. So there you go. 13 and 15 is around that area. Next spin to spot video. I tell you what, we'll do one before the summer is up. We'll definitely have another spin to spot video before the summer's up. Can you bait cast with a 16.0 and 18.0 for Ulua? I think you already asked that with the hooks. I don't think you can bait cast on 18-aught hook. What you think?
That's on big bait.
It is a big bait. It's a big hook, man.
Definitely doable.
Yeah, if you can handle bait casting on 2-pound taco on an 18.0 hook, I don't know, bro. That's you know what? I'll just jump to it and say I don't think you should, man. I don't think you can. I just don't think you should. I think 16 aughts and 18 aughts are probably going to be reserved for like slide bait action. All right. Kepa says, yeah, you Jesse finally got him.
Oh, thank you.
All right. What rod would you pair with the Stratic 2500 reel?
Maybe a scimitar.
What size? Lengthwise.
Like, or any rod that's 8.6 to 9 foot that control 3/4, 1 ounce.
2500 like size reel.
Yeah.
Cool. I like his response on that one. And let me see. I think we're missing a bunch of questions on YouTube.
A lot of questions.
Oh yeah. Shoot. I gotta catch up. Okay, mahalo. Okay, have you guys tried the new Campania 2-inch Kiki bars? If so, how do I work it? I have not tried them personally, but I've been, you know, I get messages from Jerry all the time, showing me kind of this design process, and we share ideas back and forth. But I saw the video most recently of the one that he released just the other day. I loved how it looked in the water. Something about the design, because I mean it's a smaller lure. Like say for instance, this is the size of the lure. When it runs through the water, it creates this like air bubble all around it.
It has like holes in it. That's why.
Yeah.
Like tubes like that almost.
So it creates like this bubble all the way around it. It's part of the cup face and everything. Where if it looks this big, but in the water, it's about that big. So like a bigger profile with the design that he's got on there. So it looks pretty good. But I would say with that one, it's a weighted. You're gonna treat it like a stick bait, and it's basically just gonna be a cast, retrieve, slash, slash stall. As you pick up the line, pick up the line, pick up the line. That's kind of what you're going to do with it. And I'm sure that you could probably just get a straight retrieve in too. But that's kind of the technique that I would use when I get my hands on one. Do you like the old black and gold Daiwa 50? If you are talking about the Sea Line 50, which I don't know if it's black and gold. I'm not sure. Daiwa 50.
Is that the spinning reels?
I don't know if he's talking about the old black and gold BG Daiwa 50. Tanks, bro. They're tanks. They're meant to last for a long time, and they do tend to stick around for a long time if you take good care of them, you know. But I wouldn't go out and buy one right now. If somebody gave you one, there you go. But I wouldn't necessarily invest my money in buying one unless it's something sentimental. Okay. When whipping, does your retrieval speed make a difference while attracting fish?
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. You always got to switch it up. Like I always do. Like I have this kind of like subconscious. I don't think about it. I just do it. First cast is always light, like real light. It's kind of like a little systems check. See if I forgot about some wind knot in my line, or make sure my knots are good. It's just a light cast first to begin with a quick retrieve. And then I try to go bomb them out. Fast retrieve always first, just to find out where everything is in the water. And then I'll start slowing it down. So it's like, and I'll try different techniques, a little bit of slash pop. You got to have a lot of different techniques in your book, but the retrieval speed does make a huge difference. King Vaughn says, will you guys sell diving gear? We may bring in some stuff, brother. But it's going to be basically just snorkel or tree prong, taco diving kind of stuff. Nothing real serious like free dive. But we always have customers that come in and ask, you guys get mask, you guys get tree prong. We will make sure that we already have some here in the shop, but we will make sure to have a wider selection when we get in there. Okay. Let's check and see. Let's follow up on Instagram, because I think we're already at 33 minutes. 33 minutes of yapping about fishing. You guys already know what I'm about ready to ask. Take a moment. Leave a like on the video. What was a fishing trip that you would never ever forget? What was a fishing trip you would never ever forget?
There's so much. There's so much. Like every time like we caught like something good, like it's hard to forget. Like if you ask me about that day, I could probably retell you everything.
Yeah, I bet, man. All right, I think. Oh, I thought we were all caught up. Sushi says, "Congrats, Jesse."
Thanks, Mark.
When the Hammer Bomb Flash Bombs XL 2.5 back in stock? They're working on them right now. We're trying to get caught up with the 1.5s. Thank you, Tokunaga. Thank you, Jay Haras. Thank you, Numawe, for buying all the 1.5s. We're trying to get caught up on the Flash Bombs, and then we're going to duck back to the 2.5s. Sign up for notifications. We're expecting them within a week or two. All right, I'm all caught up on Instagram. We'll finish it up with King Vaughn. What are the beads used for?
I either use them for like extra attractant or help my grub sink a little bit faster.
The weight is one thing. Everybody says it simulates an eye, where you have a curly tail or something like that, You don't necessarily have any distinction of an eye. People feel it gives it a more organic appearance where you have a contrast of the body of the grub and the red or the silver of the eye.
Get one eye on the hook already, though.
But the eye
Nah,
is
just
faced the
kidding.
other direction. Okay, and real quick, in case you guys did see the video that we posted on Instagram and Facebook, I wanted to make it very clear. We are going to be relocating our shop that has been on the corner of Fort Weaver and Papipi Road. It's not going to be immediate. I wanted to just put it out there, get you guys used to the idea that we're going to be moving to a new location, which is not really like a brand new look. It's just 110 yards across the street to the Ever Beach Shopping Center. We're in the process of building that out, so it will be a few months. I would say absolute latest will be probably July 1st. But we hope to open sooner than that. And we will be posting some videos along the way, kind of give you guys a little bit of progress, just because some people are really into that kind of stuff. And I figured we'd post it up on our YouTube channel. But thank you guys for all the congrats online for the store and for Jesse's post, where a lot of people are coming out saying congratulations. And I say mahalo for inspiring me to get out a little bit more fishing too lately.
No worries. Appreciate everybody. Cannot answer everybody's comments. I'm trying to.
I saw it. You was trying.
If you guys don't see or reply, just know thank you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Dude, 36 minutes worth of yapping about fishing. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and we do ask that you take a moment and leave a like on the video. It helps. It helps tell the platforms that we're on that you guys enjoy what we're watching. They'll show you our next video, and they might show people just like you our videos and help us reach a broader audience. So we appreciate it. Aloha, everybody. Have a good one. And 4 p.m., 20 minutes, high fish gear deals. We're going to be auctioning off $1,600 worth of fishing gear starting at nothing. All right, everybody. Aloha.